A businessman of my close acquaintance was informed by a representative of the government that he had been violating a federal law for quite some time. The payments and penalties due the government amounted to several $1,000s, enough to bring about the dissolution of his business and the loss of his home as well. In the face of what certainly seemed a problem of major proportions, the businessman steadfastly stood his ground. This is what he said. He said, "This single awareness is self-evidently all I am." He said, "This awareness is all to me. God is being all there is to this awareness. All that can be seen is God's own perception of God. Reality perceives reality." It seems a little silly to think perfection can disturb perfection. The government representative is within this awareness I am, just as everything else that is seen. The government and its representatives are within awareness, like the letters are in the alphabet. Now, the letters can do nothing to destroy the tranquility of the alphabet. So how can this man do anything to harm this awareness I am? Well, he stood his ground in the face of the hydra-headed monster that government always appears as, to find out shortly that the amount of money involved was only half as much. And then he heard a fourth as much. And then, lo, finally he heard that the government had made a mistake and that there had been no violation at all. Well, there is actually no imperfection on this earth. There is actually no problem to be solved. There is actually nothing to be overcome or healed. There is actually no separate little ego with a mind of its own to be awakened, to be eliminated, or to be put off. Oh, but my goodness, the one who understands that is the one who begins to put it off. It cannot be denied that there sure seems to be much to contend with and to correct in the world. But to whom does it seem this way? Always to the one who thinks he is something of himself, to the one who thinks that he has a mind of his own and that awareness belongs to himself, to his personal mind, to the one who would make a servant of awareness and have it report just what he wants to see and hear and feel. Then that imprisoner of awareness, called mortal man, is either happy or unhappy depending on how nearly his awareness shows him what he wants to see. All the while awareness just goes right on being aware. All the while awareness goes right on just being what it is. Consciousness being perfectly aware of existence. All the while awareness constantly beholds the perfection of existence and nothing else. The one in such great misery is that one to whom awareness reports and who judges the reports of awareness that come to him. The one who is elated or despondent, well supplied or in poverty, is the one who, judging the reports of his senses, either likes them or dislikes them. The one with the problem is always the one who considers himself a personality with a mind of his own that is aware. That is, who consciously or unconsciously believes himself to be the grand custodian and possessor of life, of awareness. Well, I have news. Awareness cannot be possessed. Awareness does not belong to a single man or a woman. Awareness is not the servant of anybody or anything. Awareness belongs to the divine mind, infinite consciousness, reality, God, just as yellow belongs to gold, just as the numerals belong to arithmetic. You are this very awareness itself. We are not a mortal being who contains awareness. We are the divine awareness itself, in the process of awaring, of being aware. Well, now, can you imagine what this means? It means that we no longer have any real responsibility as a person to see this or to experience that. We no longer have to judge anything that we see or hear as awareness. Not really. We have no personal responsibility at all. Well, now, personal responsibility, meaning we don't have to be responsible for the order and the correctness of this or that or something else. We have but to be a faithful witness, a faithful awareness, and not the enslaved awareness of Bill or John or Mavis or Mary. In fact, we are this already, without effort, because awareness is God's activity, God's own knowledge of itself, reality's awareness of being what it is already. All there is to what we call Bill or Mary or John or me is the belief that we are someone who can contain or possess, imprison, or make a slave of God's awareness, of God's self-awareness, of God's knowledge of existing. Since the awareness of being is God's activity, awareness cannot be possessed or made a servant of or contained within a body, an object of perception. This eliminates the possibility that something exists that can contain awareness, even in belief. Does this not put Bill and Mary and John in a new perspective? Well, they have no power, importance, nor authority of their own at all. God, reality, truth, is being exactly what they are. God's awareness of being God includes what is called me and thee, Bill or Mary, just as it includes beauty and love, just as gold includes yellow, just as arithmetic includes numbers. Are you not aware of being right now? Well, of course you are. You are aware of these words. Is not this very awareness all-inclusive? Have you ever been outside it? Have you ever seen a sight that didn't come as this very awareness? Certainly not. Does not this awareness include the mountains, the oceans, the microcosm, the macrocosm, the Pleiades, and all the galaxies? This awareness really is alone and all, is it not? Honesty, total honesty, doesn't allow us to answer otherwise. The awareness that listens to these words is infinite. It is alone. It is all. It is the divine awareness of existence. It is God's knowledge of himself. It is God's knowledge of being God. It doesn't belong to another. It is not contained nor possessed by another. It is not beholden to another called Bill or Mary or somebody else. This awareness, this very awareness that is aware right here, right now, is God's awareness of being all God is. And the responsibility for that is God's. The burden is God's. This awareness is free. Free. Awareness has never really been bound to a body called Bill, nor judged by any of their judgments, nor limited by their limitations. Awareness, life, says to those who are weary and heavy laden, leave the separate sense of self and return to me, and I'll give you rest. Awareness has just gone right on being aware. So you, my friend, are awareness. You're not a big tub of ego with a personal name that has had awareness reporting to it. The awareness spoken of here is life. The very activity that reading these words and listening to these words is. It is now seen and understood as God's awareness of God, as that which is. And is it not true that this awareness has never reported anything that was good or